What's up, gamers? We've got another one. Anbernic's at it again, this time with the RG40XX H, and I want to do a quick trailer analysis with you this morning. But as we get started, if you enjoy the content, consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, maybe even becoming a channel member. It helps out a whole lot. But let's get right into it. The Anbernic RG40XX H. You can see it right here. And I'm going to skip back to the beginning of the trailer. And they open the trailer up showing off God of War, and you kind of, it's a little bit deceptive, I think, because you look at that and you're like, oh my goodness, this can play God of War. We can emulate that? No, this is Moonlight streaming. But they don't show you that. They show you the same clip at the end of the trailer where they have text over it saying it's Moonlight streaming, but they don't do that here. So it kind of sucks you in a little bit. It didn't fool me. I was like, there's no way that that's doing that. That's got to be Moonlight. But the point is that they should have been more upfront about it, I feel like. And they start showing off some ports here. Shredder's Revenge, Celeste, Stardew Valley, and then we get to some PSP, and you can see there's obvious frame skipping going on here, and that's not surprising. When this leaked a few days ago, we heard the rumor that this was using the same H700 chip that is in the RG35XX Plus line, and even the RG28XX line. So this seems to be gonna probably have the same performance. It's also running Linux, just like those devices, their own stock operating system. So PSP is going to perform about the same. You're just going to have more screen real estate. And speaking of that screen, this is a 4:3 display ratio. It's also a 640 by 480 display. They do say that in the description down here. Those full screen DS games, like the top screen, that's going to look really great on here. But dual screen, you get a brief glimpse of dual screen on a 4:3 display. It's not going to look as good as it does on those 1:1 displays. Let's see if I can pause. Yeah, I think it's probably going to look best side by side like that. Such a quick brief. There it is. It's probably going to look best side by side rather than on top of one another. But you'll be able to switch and find what works best for you, I'm sure. Then we get into some Crazy Taxi on the Dreamcast, and that looks like it's running okay, as we would expect from the H700 chip. Well, there's some 64. Paperboy runs really well on this chipset. Nuclear Strike looks cool. That's a game I've never played before. Of course, PS1 is going to run just fine here, just like it has for a long time. They show off some DOS simulation. That's fun. And then I thought this was kind of funny. There's something like almost toy-like. It looks more like a toy in the blue to me than it does the black or the gray. And they're showing off the game called Toy Fighter. I thought that was kind of humorous, at least to me. And they do show off Contra here, but they don't show off him flat on the ground. So we don't know anything about the D-pad yet there. And those diagonals, you're going to get online multiplayer with this, like we've been seeing for a while, but it's just nice to know that it's going to be there for those of you that enjoy that. And there is HDMI out and Bluetooth controller support. I know that is important for some people who want to turn this into like a portable console. And then lastly, we get that clip of God of War again, where they do admit, hey, this is Moonlight streaming from a PC to the handheld. And then just a title card at the end with a look at those colors. And I do want to kind of zoom in here and just take a quick look at these. We have a couple of SD card slots, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and downward firing speakers. I wish that weren't the case, but what are you going to do? Start and selector on the front of the device down in the bottom right corner, and we have a menu button there in the bottom left corner. And I do kind of like these rounded edges. I think that does look comfortable. We'll see once we get one in hand. I'm not sure. I like that there's stacked triggers this time, though. I'm expecting those to be just digital triggers, not analog triggers, but they don't say one way or another in the description. And then we have up top, you've got a USB-C out, it looks like, and then that HDMI out, and I'm guessing power is on the left and the reset button is on the right, and then there's a volume rocker up there and a little LED saying, hey, this is on. So with this having RGB sticks and a 4-inch display, even though it's part of this XX line with the H700 chip, I do expect this to be $75, maybe even $80, a little bit more expensive, because they've just thrown a little more flair in there with the bigger screen and the RGB sticks, which some people like and some people wish they would stop doing that. I'm kind of indifferent. I think they can look cool in certain situations, and other times I want them to be turned off. So it does sound like in the description that there is going to be an option for controlling those and turning those off. In fact, let's just take a quick look at the description. It says it's coming in 3 colors: black, gray, and blue. Let me know what you think about the blue in the comments, because something about it just makes it look cheaper and more like a toy to me. But this is interesting that it's been upgraded to a 64-bit system, and I guess the other ones are 32-bit. That's what that would imply, right? So I'm not really sure the implications of that at this point, but at least it shows that they are trying to be forward thinking and trying to make improvements and upgrades. You get over 30 different platforms, including PSP, Nintendo 64, Nintendo DS, DOS, Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, and more. A 16 million color RGB halo light, 5 different ambient lighting modes, adjustable brightness and color. That's good to see. Okay, 4-inch IPS full laminated display. This is a 640 by 480 display. And one thing that I feel like I need to point out, just because I'm dropping a review of the RG40XX probably tomorrow, if I can get it finished editing tonight. One thing that I've been really impressed with this device is the pixel density on this device. It's incredible. It looks so sharp, even though this is 640 by 480. I didn't realize, like, I've always thought that it looked good on here. This is 640 by 480 as well, but shrinking the display down makes that pixel density go up, which makes everything look sharper. And so I do wonder if blowing the screen up, making the pixel density go down, is going to be noticeable in terms of making the screen look softer. And maybe I'm overthinking it, maybe that's not that big of a deal, but I do just wonder. I have not had a 4-inch Anbernic device like the 405M or something like that. So I'm interested to see what the display is actually going to look like in person. You get 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi for that multiplayer and not for over-the-air updates. Unfortunately, unless they change that. I still hope that that's coming from them. Moonlight streaming, so you can play AAA games. The Bluetooth is 4.2 for connecting those wireless controllers. And then their tagline, games make happiness simpler. Anbernic invites you to embark on a gaming adventure together. They always put this in quotes, and this, who said that? Like, they never tell us who said it. Who are they quoting? But they're inviting us to embark on a gaming adventure together. And then these links down here in the description, they just go to their generic page. I don't think the product is live yet. Let's just check real quick, because I'm pretty sure it's not up yet. Yeah, no, it's not. They just have the cube up there. It's so interesting that they just released the cube with the 1x1 display, and then this RG40XX with a 4x3 display. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, they're releasing a budget 1x1, but no, it's a 4x3. You know, after you take a second look at it, you're like, oh yeah. So no price yet, no like official spec sheet yet, but just based on seeing what they have with the frame skipping with the PSP and the other features here and the naming convention of it, I'm sure that this is going to be the H700, probably with 1 gig of RAM. But that about wraps it up. That is the RG40XX H. I'll be putting out more videos, I'm sure, as we learn more information. So make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video with a friend. Thank you so much for watching. Stay kind and encouraging out there, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.